Everyone for our council meeting, 28 September 2020. Let's call the meeting to order. Marcy, would you please read the statement?
Sure. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public and the press on January 7th, 2020, and was posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-7.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Sure. Vice President Auberger.
Here.
Councilmember Murphy.
Here.
Councilmember Pitsker.
Here.
Councilmember Weller.
Here.
Council President Shortway.
Present. Let's salute the flag, please. Please rise. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance
to
to
the
the
flag
To the
United
flag
States
of
of
the
America,
United
and
States
to
of
the
America,
republic for which it is one nation,
one
under
nation,
God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
liberty.
liberty,
and
and
justice
justice
for all.
for all.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move to number 5, public comments for current items only, limited to 3 minutes per person. Please, anyone wishing to speak, state your name, please, and where you live or the area. May I have a motion to open public comments?
Motion.
Open to the public.
Second it.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Seeing no one, public comments are open.
I have Vincent Speziali. I think I might have
Yes.
said that wrong. Can you unmute, Vincent?
How's that? You got me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we got you, Vin.
Hi.
All right,
Hi.
good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Vinny Speziali, President of Council 63, Local 3181. I'm once again requesting that the resolution number 20-190. I'm sorry, I've been up. Excuse me. Number 20-190 be tabled again by the council for the following reasons. An email was sent out to the mayor and the business administrator stating that the union has found a few issues with the local agreement. Some is simple, some language changes. I believe there was only like 4 issues that needed to be addressed. I do want to apologize to Chuck and Mayor Burrell. Union got back to you guys very late, but Seth Gowan is the Northeast attorney and represents Local 3181. And he was very busy these last few weeks with hearings. I guess like everyone else, the union's trying to get it covered up with things. So now we're just waiting to hear from the township on how they want to move forward. I would like to make one thing clear. This union supports the direction that the township and the MUA are going. And I will personally do whatever it takes myself to keep myself available if needed to resolve these issues. I feel positive with the cooperation of the township, we can resolve these issues in a timely manner and keep the township and MUA moving in a positive direction that they're trying to head to. And once again, I do apologize, Mr. Mayor and Chuck. You guys probably did not receive that email possibly today. I think that he sent it out Friday night. And again, I don't even know if he's had the opportunity to review it. But again, I apologize on behalf of the union. Thank you.
I have Thomas McClackery. Mr. McClackery? Hi, Mr. McClackery.
I wanted to wait for that unmute. Okay, first name Tom, last name McClackery. I live in Vernon, pay too many taxes. So having said that, I'm essentially a physical conservative, and I think most of the politics in Sussex County are pretty much liberal physical spenders. Having said that, this has to do with the, first up was the 911 system. As you all know, we're paying a heck of a lot more than that. I think you're projecting we're paying the county $441,000, but actually we're paying more. And I say that basically because the health benefits and the retirement benefits are not going to be included in that number. Second up is everybody sitting there that I'm looking at that has a phone, you're already paying 90 cents a month for the 911 system to the state. And perhaps you should, send them a little missive about how about giving us some more money for our 911 system. That would be appreciated. And those two issues are just for the 911, but we also do fire inspection and we also do building inspection. Both of those services are provided by the county. And my question to you is, are we paying for that too? I know we're paying for the health benefits and the retirement benefits. As to whether we're paying operational expenses and salaries, I haven't really checked into. But for the building and the fire inspection, yeah, we're paying our own medical and retirement benefits, and we're paying the county. And that's it with the 911 system. The other thing I have to say is the ordinance that you have for the animal shelter. Being a physical conservative, and I can't see charging more to get rid of, not get rid of, put up for adoption these animals and charge people more to do it. Because if we're a kill shelter and we don't get rid of these animals, what are we going to do? You're going to knock them off, take them in the back? I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea to raise money for adoption fees for the dogs and cats. I think, if somebody wants to adopt it, whatever fees we have in place now should stay there. We don't need to be making money on this. What we need to do is to move these animals out of the animal shelter and hopefully, not knock them off. And that's me for the night. Thank you.
I see no other hands, Council President.
Okay, since no one else wishes to speak, can I have a motion to close public comments, please?
It looks like Jessie has her hand up.
Yep,
Actually,
I'm sorry. She did just put her hand up.
Okay,
Ms. Palladini?
Yes, I did put it up at the last minute, because I didn't realize the matter about the animal shelter. I'm gonna have to concur. I think that is just so much money to charge people to adopt animals. The point is to find these animals homes, and this just, to me, is not the way to make money. I mean, it used to be $10, $15, and it was raised to $75 not that long ago. And when I looked at the amounts today, it's just astronomical. And that's all I have to say about it. So thank you for hearing my comments.
thank you. Anyone else?
I see no other hands.
Okay, may I have a motion to close public comments, please?
Motion to close the public comment.
Do I have a second?
second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? See no one. Thank you. Minutes, 2020 regular meeting. May I have a motion to adopt minutes?
Motion.
Do I,
Second.
let's go roll, please.
Yes. Vice President Auberger?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Pitsker? I'm sorry, you're muted, Councilmember Pitsker. Can I?
Yes.
Councilmember Weller?
Yes.
Council President Shortway?
Yes, please. Yep.
Motion carries.
Okay, let's go through number 7, resolutions. Resolution 20-190, resolution authorizing interlocal services agreement for the Department of Works. This resolution authorizing the interlocal service agreement. May I have a motion to approve resolution 20-190? Is
Like to make a motion to table it.
there a second?
Well, I'll second that, but I'd like to have a discussion on it.
Okay,
I know that it's been back and forth on both ends where, maybe the administration didn't issue the information, and then it took a while for the attorney for the union to get back. But it's not fair to keep stalling it. And I'm just wondering, I saw the email come through today because obviously, everyone's looking at us to make this decision on to pass this. And this has been an agreement, I guess, where the MUA was involved. And I'm not sure, with the email coming today, I'm not sure what, if anything, the MUA had a chance to look at it, if there'll be more discussion. We were not, I have no idea what was happening on the MUA with it before, nor with administration. So I'm okay with tabling it, but, we need to have, something needs to happen. We have to put a drop dead date on this because it's not fair to continue holding it up. And my question that I have is this holding up any operations at the MUA if it's tabled again? What is the detriment for it to be tabled to wait till our next meeting?
If I may speak, Gene, basically this agreement has been expired for over a year already, and we've been just operating on the existing agreement, and Chuck can concur or clarify that. But we've been running with what we have currently from the old agreement, and we're trying to refresh this and get that agreement up to date. If they want to table this and have another dialogue with Chuck, it's fine. This agreement is between the MUA and the town. How the town handles the discussions and negotiations with the union is outside of the MUA's jurisdiction, in my belief.
You're right. It has been expired for quite some time, and I did not receive it till late Friday night, and I disseminated it to the mayor, the council president, the township attorney, and the township labor attorney first thing Saturday morning. I will be getting a response back from the labor attorney. However, on the face of it, from what he saw, he said there is no reason to hold it back, but if you would prefer that there be some further discussion with the union and or the two attorneys talking about it, I have no problem. I don't think it's going to impact operations at all for the MUA.
And I'm sorry, I was kicked off and came back. So you don't think it'll impact operations for the MUA if it's tabled to the next meeting?
I do not believe so. But again, as the labor attorney looked at it over the course of the weekend, he did not give me a written response that I could share with all of you, but he said on its face, there's nothing there that would prevent you voting on it tonight. But again, if you would prefer to wait, I don't necessarily see a problem with that.
And I mean, I'm only from my point of view, it's just that it seems to be an issue between, let's say, the union and administration and the MUA, whereas the council's being given the task to vote on it and accept it. And it's obviously there's still some issues there. So that's why I wanted to, the motion table it. But in fairness, at the next meeting, there has to be a decision of what's happening at least a week before, because it's not fair to just continue stalling it either. And I'm not saying that it was the municipality or the union or the MUA. I'm just saying is collectively, we really need to see something final days before, even that the agenda's out. I mean, it should be probably the first thing that's ready for the next agenda. So we're not waiting on it either.
Okay. When it was tabled at the last meeting, I forwarded to them the very next morning. So they had it for at least 10 days. I understand the way the union president explained that, the attorney was very busy with some other work that he was doing. But that being said, we can, if you want, as soon as I have a response from the labor attorney, or if the township attorney wishes to weigh in, that's fine also, but I will share that with all of you so that you will have it well before the next meeting.
Okay, so, and that's, and like I said, and when I'm saying this, I know that you sent it, Chuck, because you did send us your email. But I'm just saying everybody on the other end, they have to be, the attorney for the union, they have to be ready. So tabling it to October 15th is the motion. Is that correct,
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, let's take a roll call. Gene seconded it, right? Gene, you seconded the
Yeah.
motion?
Yep.
Okay.
Vice President Auberger,
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy,
Yes.
Councilmember Pittsger,
Yes.
Councilmember Weller,
Yes.
Council President Shortway.
Yes.
Motion carries to table till October 15th.
Resolution 20-206, resolution of the Township Council of the Township of Vernon rejecting all bids for number 2, R as in Romeo, 2020 fire alarm installation. This resolution rejects all bids for fire alarm installation. May I have a motion to approve resolution 20-206?
Motion to approve resolution 20-206.
Second?
Okay, roll call, please.
Vice President Auberger,
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy,
Yes.
Councilmember Pittsger,
Yes.
Councilmember Weller,
Yes.
Council President Shortway.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Resolution 20-207, resolution of the Township of Vernon, the County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, authorizing extension of bid award for HVAC service, HVACs. This resolution authorizing the extension of a bid award. May I have a motion to approve resolution 20-207?
Motion to approve.
Second it.
Roll call, please.
Vice President Auberger,
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy,
Yes.
Councilmember Pittsger,
Yes.
Councilmember Weller,
Yes.
Council President Shortway.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Resolution 20-208, resolution of the Township of Vernon requesting that County of Sussex to provide a separate taxation to municipalities that utilize Sussex County dispatch services. This resolution requests a separate taxation to utilize dispatch services. May I have a motion to approve resolution 20-208?
Motion?
Second.
Second.
Roll call?
Vice President Auberger,
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy,
Yes.
Councilmember Pittsger,
Yes.
Councilmember Weller,
Yes.
Council President Shortway.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Resolution 20-209, authorizing the award of contract for container services at the Township's Public Works and Animal Control facilities. This resolution authorizes the award of the contract. May I have a motion to approve resolution 20-209?
Motion to approve.
And I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Vice President Auberger,
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy,
Yes.
Councilmember Pittsger,
Yes.
Councilmember Weller,
Yes.
Council President Shortway.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Resolution 20-210, resolution authorizing execution of a modification to a shared service agreement with the County of Sussex Department of Health and Human Services for the Congregate Nutrition Program. This resolution authorizes execution of a modification to a shared service agreement. May I have a motion to approve resolution 20-210?
Motion?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Vice President Auberger,
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy,
Yes.
Councilmember Pittsger,
Yes.
Councilmember Weller,
Yes.
Council President Shortway.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Resolution 20-211, resolution authorizing leasing of certain vehicles through Sourcewell National Cooperative Number 060618 EFM through Enterprise Fleet Management Services, Inc., quote number 4729814-color carbonized gray metallic. This resolution authorizes leasing of certain vehicles. May I have a motion to approve Resolution 20-211?
Question first. What department are these two vehicles going for? Going to?
Dr. Mayor, could you answer that, please?
Give me a second. Let me just check.
I think Chuck is searching his file there to try to get that number, get that specific information.
Okay, these are going to be police vehicles.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, they're 2021 police vehicles. They're Explorers.
Are they replacing, Chuck, are they replacing any vehicles right now? And what's the disposition of the vehicles that they're replacing?
Yes, Councilman. Just so you're aware, when we made the decision to go with Enterprise in this program, we missed the opportunity to utilize the last contract that was out there for the 2020s. That's why these are 2021s. So we've extended the use of current vehicles past when we would normally go. And so we are going to be actually, the way we're going to do it now is we are trading in current vehicles as well as taking on these new ones. But we actually skipped almost an entire year in 2020 by not being able to get this done in time.
Thank you very much for the explanation.
Matter of fact, it was so bad that when we just had during the last big storm that we had, one of the police vehicles was totaled by a tree falling on it, and we actually had to pull one of the Explorers from the building department to replace that vehicle, because these vehicles are probably not going to be ready until the beginning of January.
Thank you. I did see that vehicle. Good that you could have the flexibility to change them around.
We got lucky.
Yeah.
And so did the officer who was with the vehicle.
John, that answers your question, right?
That answers my question. Therefore, I'll make a motion for 2211.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Vice President Auerberger,
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy,
Yes.
Councilmember Pittsger,
Yes.
Councilmember Weller,
Yes.
Council President Shortway.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Resolution 20-212, resolution authorizing leasing of certain vehicles through Sourcewell National Cooperative Number 060618 EFM through Enterprise Fleet Management Services, Inc., quote number 4729812, color stone gray metallic. This resolution authorizes the purchase and, as we discussed, another police vehicle. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Vice President Auerberger,
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy,
Yes.
Councilmember Pittsger,
Yes.
Councilmember Weller,
Yes.
Council President Shortway.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Resolution 20-213, refund overpayment, block 378, lot 1, Samus. This resolution authorizes a refund overpayment. May I have a motion to approve resolution 20-213?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Vice President Auerberger,
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy,
Yes.
Councilmember Pittsger,
Yes.
Councilmember Weller,
Yes.
Council President Shortway.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Resolution 20-214, refund overpayment, Block 528, Lot 5, Wygant. This resolution also authorizes a refund overpayment. May I have a motion to approve Resolution 20-214?
Motion to approve?
Second,
Roll call, please.
Vice President Auerberger,
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy,
Yes.
Councilmember Pittsger,
yes.
Councilmember Weller,
Yes.
Council President Shortway.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Resolution 20-215, resolution accepting the completion of road improvement project to Lake Pochung Road Phase 1. This resolution accepts the completion of a road improvement project. May I have a motion to approve Resolution 20-215?
Motion?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Vice President Auerberger,
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy,
Yes.
Councilmember Pittsger,
Yes.
Councilmember Weller,
Yes.
Council President Shortway.
Yes.
Motion
Number-
carries.
Thank you. On our agenda, item number 8, public hearing, second reading of ordinances. Ordinance number 20-16, an ordinance amending the Vernon Township Administrative Code, Chapter 250, Article 2, Fees and Escrows, enumerated in Section 250-15, related to animal control. May I have a motion to open the public hearing for ordinance 20-16?
Motion up.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Anyone opposed? Seeing none, open up.
I have Jessica Palladini.
Okay.
She's muted.
Yep, I'm trying.
There you go.
Ms. Palladini, thank you.
You're welcome. Just want to reiterate, I think the fees are too high, that's all. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have Mr. McClackery.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm also submitting my 2 cents. And that is, this raising the fees does not pass the logic test. And that logic is this: if you're trying to get these animals adopted, I would assume that somebody might have taken a business course and realized that the cheaper the price for the same commodity, then that,
From the animal shelter.
wait, did I just hear something? Yeah, I'm talking about the animal shelter. The cheaper the price, these animals will move and be adopted. It doesn't make any sense. It's not logical, and it contravenes good business rules. And that's the long and the short of what I got to say. And hopefully you will shoot this down and we can get some of these animals adopted. Thank you.
You're welcome, Tom. Marcy, any other people?
Yes. I have Peg, I guess Peg DeStassi.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm
We hear
sorry.
you.
Okay.
Good
It
evening.
only says your first name on here.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to say that I agree with Tom and Jesse that the fees are too high. People are going to go to where they can adopt pets at a reasonable rate, and which means they'll leave town and go to one of the other shelters in the area, and we'll be stuck with a lot of animals because we're trying to charge too much. So I hope you'll consider at least reducing them if we need to have a fee. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have Vincent Spaziali. I'm trying to unmute him.
Okay, you got me?
Yes.
Thank
You're
you.
on.
I just want to take a moment to thank the council for tabling this one more time. I understand the frustration that you guys are going through.
Then, I hate to
I-
interrupt you, but this is about the animal ordinance.
Oh, okay, so I can't speak?
No, we're only discussing, it's open for public comment on the animal ordinance that we have before us.
I can never
We'll
get, sorry, guys.
But
Okay.
we'll have another portion where the public can comment on any
That's
issue.
fine.
Sorry.
Just
Thank you.
have a good night.
Okay. I see no other hands.
Council President, if I could just interject here.
Sure.
I
By all means.
was told that either Chief Young or Captain Kimkowski was likely going to speak to this issue because they are the ones that requested that these prices be increased. Essentially, the information that we received in administration and the reason why it was put on the agenda was the fact that the prices for what we do for these animals with giving them their shots and have them spayed or neutered is costing us, and we're taking a loss on it. A lot of other adoption agencies do not do that. They do not care to do that. We're trying to be as progressive as possible in terms of providing an animal at the lowest cost possible, but giving them the shots that they need from a veterinarian, and also making sure that they're spayed and neutered so that they do not, reproduce unnecessarily. So like I said, I thought one or both of them would perhaps speak to this. I think they were prepared at the last meeting to do so, but if they're not here tonight, then all I did was wanted to mention that they did provide information that indicated a comparison with some of the larger adoption shelters that are in Sussex and Morris, and we are definitely below the prices that they are charging and providing, in most cases, better service by giving them, the animals, their shots.
I think Chief Young is, I'm not sure if he was prepared to speak, but he's
away at the present time. He's due back tomorrow.
well, somebody's hand is raised. It says.
Okay,
Chief
good.
Daniel.
It is his now, yes.
Oh, okay.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes, Chief, welcome.
Hi, guys. I actually was not prepared to speak on this tonight, but I'd be happy to speak for just a minute. So what's happened is over the last few years, we've exhausted all of the funds that we've brought in, which has been just donation funds to continue with this program of being able to spay and neuter all the animals. The actual price for adoption fees is significantly lower compared to all the other places that we've contacted. We did, the captain did a full workup on it to do a comparison analysis to see where we compared to everybody else. We've actually, since we've taken it over, we've moved to what they almost classify as a no-kill shelter. We're able to pretty much adopt every pet with the exception of a few, if there's actual issues with the animal that we can't adopt them. So we're very proud of that. The issue is that we've pretty much exhausted all of those funds. So we're going to be at like a tipping point where we're either going to have to stop spaying and neutering the animals as we adopt them out, or we can continue with the path we're on and increase the fees. We have had so many cat colonies in town that we've been able to actually tackle some of these major issues, and it's been paying off substantially. We did take it to the next level, and we also went to a shared service with Franklin Borough, as you guys know. We're very proud of that, and now we're continuing to start tackling their problem, and they are being charged accordingly as per the contract we negotiated with them. So for us, we tried to keep it as reasonable as possible with the increase in fees. We wanted to be comparable to the other agencies that were around us. That's why we're asking for it. We've had exceptional adoption from all of our cats and dogs. It's been excellent. And we're really proud of what we've done and what we've accomplished. And We think with a higher adoption fee, we'll be able to continue the momentum of what we've been able to do. But unfortunately, without raising our budget substantially, for next year, we're going to end up having to stop what we're doing at some point this year because we're not going to be able to keep doing those spay and neuters. Does that help?
Yes,
I
Chief.
have a comment to make. I just wanted to say that from people that I've spoken to, actually, I know that the animal shelter, there were areas in town that had issues with the cat colonies, and animal control did go out, did capture the cats, did have them spayed, return them to some of these areas because some of them supposedly were privately owned. And as far as some of the people, they were just feeding them, but that was about it. So I know that they're doing it, and I know that that's actually helped from these residents. They said it's helped because it stopped the reproduction in that area because it just creates more of a problem, and it, just doesn't go away. One of the items that I have to say is several years ago, I actually did adopt a dog. I went looking for a specific dog, specific breed. And the one that I did rescue actually came from a rescue place. And it was, we're not sure how old it was, but it was probably at least 9 years old. And I can tell you that I paid much more than $50 because it was, I was rescuing it. And I also had to take it in for some medical attention after I did. So oftentimes people rescue pets, animals, and if they have the means, they will put out, they'll be able to afford it. I would think that if at some point they see that the adoptions are slowing down or maybe not happening because of the fees, that I don't think that Chief Young will, sit back and just wait and say, well, let's see what happens in another 6 months if they see it failing. I think that I would hope that they would come back to the council to say, maybe we need to rethink this. So that's my view on it. Like I said, I'm just looking at these fees, and I know, like I said, the places are out there and they are paying. And sometimes if you get a pet for free, sometimes they end up coming back too. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Gene.
If Mr. Council President, if I could, let me just say that before the animal shelter was put under the control of our police department, I would say kindly that it perhaps did not have the best of reputation. And it's not a term I would use, but I've heard some people call it the kill shelter. And they literally turned that around. The service agreement that they had with Franklin came through me. The administrator in Franklin contacted me because she had heard about how our animal turned around. So this shelter here now has a very good reputation, and they're saving a lot of animals. And they just can't continue to do this because fees here are not at all to not only but animals that have all.
Are we all muted?
All the other things that money.
Marcy, I just think it's the mayor. You
do?
hear me fine? I hear you.
Yeah,
John's
I
okay.
think it's the mayor. Yeah.
No.
Not that I'm speaking for the mayor, but he's saying we have a great reputation at our animal shelter. And that's why
Yeah.
Franklin has come, and we agreement in that. Is there anybody else from the public? Because we'll close the public part of it. And any other council person before we vote is, of course, welcome to speak.
I don't see any hands.
Okay, let's have a motion to close public comment.
Motion.
Oh, second that.
Can we have a roll call to close the discussion?
Sure. we need, you want to have a roll call to close public?
Just close public comment. All in favor?
I'm sorry.
Aye.
Aye. Is anyone opposed to closing public comment? Seeing no one, public comment is closed. Before we adapt, Mayor, I see that you're unfrozen. Is there anything else you'd like to say, Mr. Mayor?
No, I didn't know how much was said, was heard of what I said.
You
But
were bringing on that Franklin contacted you because of our outstanding reputation.
Absolutely. And I said that, as Councilperson Murphy said, individuals who adopt animals and they adopt animals with all of their shots and everything that they really need, know that these rates here are not really high at all. And in fact, people appreciate the fact that when they get an animal from our shelter, they just don't get an animal we're trying to get rid of. We get an animal that's been treated appropriately and that have all of their shots and everything.
Have their say.
I think they agree.
Yeah.
They agree. As you can see, all our dogs come from shelters. We paid a lot more than what Vernon charges. As a matter of fact, my whole family, immediate family, probably have 6 or 7 dogs, all from shelters. I don't know who rescues who. I think they rescue us. They just do the way to go. And I think our police department is doing an outstanding job on how they're running, maintaining, and operating the animal shelter. So congratulations, Chief, on the job you do and what your staff is doing for this township and our animals. Does anybody else desire to speak before we make a motion to adopt? Seeing no one, may I have a motion to adopt ordinance 20-16?
Motion to adopt.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call, please.
Vice President Auerberger,
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy,
Yes.
Councilmember Pittsger,
Yes.
Councilmember Weller,
Yes.
Council President Shortway.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, let's move to ordinance 20-17, ordinance of the Township of Vernon, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, authorizing acceptance of an amended easement for the property known as Block 395, Lot 4, on the official tax map of the Township of Vernon. May I have a motion to open the public hearing for ordinance 20-17?
Motion to open to public?
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes. Anyone opposed? Seeing no one, public comment is open.
I see no hands up. Just check Q&A. This has nothing to do with this. I'll read that later in open public comment, but I don't see any hands up for this ordinance.
Okay, may I have a motion to close public comments for this ordinance?
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Seeing when no one's opposed, may I have a motion to adopt ordinance 20-17?
Motion to adopt 2017?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Vice President Auerberger,
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy,
Yes.
Councilmember Pittsger,
Yes.
Councilmember Weller,
Yes.
Council President Shortway.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, number 9 on the agenda, public comment limited to 3 minutes on any topic. May I have a motion to open public comment?
Motion to open the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Seeing no one, public comments are open.
I'm just going to read one from Paul Weber. He said, the new sign in historical Glenwood looks absolutely fabulous. I love Vernon history. The mayor is doing a terrific job trying to move Vernon forward. Can you please pave Glenwood Estates? I also have Jessica Palladini. Ms. Palladini,
I was going to save this one for last, but in light of that nice comment just now, I'll say it first. I want to say thank you so much to Mayor Burrell, who was a real friend to historic preservation. Prior historic preservation commissions for 6 years could not get that Glenwood marker done. And we determined that within 2 months of our being appointed to the new HPC, we would get it done. And it's because of Mayor Burrell that we were able to get it done. Thank you for coming to the dedication yesterday, and it is indeed beautiful. We hope we'll see more people at our next dedication, which is going to come very soon. We have another new marker, and it's for Kings Highway, which is the Route 94 section that General George Washington and his troops traveled on. Secondly, I want to say that I guess in light of what we heard from Chief Dan Young, for whom I have a great deal of respect, I will change my mind. And if in comparison to other shelters, our costs are lower and we provide much better services, then it is necessary to raise the costs, I guess. Lastly, I just want to say that I recently opened the ledgers for the open space funds, and it appears that there is a misappropriation of funds for what those monies could be used for. I just want to voice my concern about that. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
You're welcome. Thank you. Marcy, anyone else? Is Vinny back on? Because he wanted to speak.
I think he is not on anymore. And I don't see any other hands raised. Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody just, Mr. McClackery.
Okay.
Can you unmute Mr. There you go.
All right, we're there. Okay, so I guess this is, I just like to bear witness to the last 10 months of listening to council meetings. You know, in that 10 months, you've had, you know, some ding dong bothering the heck out of you about signage for slave cemeteries. You've had various other comments about what the heck is that, a jump track? Or, I don't know, some sort of bicycle track, which took up a lot of meetings. And you've had some comments about Black lives probably and blue lives and all of that. And obviously you've had comments about Main Street, which is now Senior Street, which will be misconstrued in the future as to some sort of tip of the hat to the seniors that are over 65. But having said all of that, and having watched you folks, you know, your priorities, yeah, I'm well aware of how politics works. But what I am astounded at, and Mr. Burrell can back me up in this, and probably Mr. Volker too. I mean, both of them are probably in the service in the 60s. And I can tell you, I was. And I had the pleasure of serving at that time with World War II veterans, which were, you know, they were getting to the end of their careers. And they're typically senior enlisted and senior officers. And this month, September 2nd, 1945, was the end of World War II, and you folks don't say a word, which is astounding. I mean, it just knocks my socks off that not a word comes out about, you know, the generation that put us where we are today. Not a word. It's just astounding. I don't care what anybody says, But you folks should be addressing, you know, that long goodbye to the World War II generation. That's all I got to say. Thanks.
Thank you.
I see no other hands.
Okay, motion to close public comments?
Motion to close public comment?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Seeing no one, let's move on to mayor's comments. Mayor Burrell, floor is yours.
Hopefully I don't get frozen up on this. My internet's been going in and out here. Mr. Council President and other council members, I actually use my comments tonight to focus on just two items, one a little lengthy. This past, Saturday, September the 19th, was National Thank You Day. And when we reflect on the strain and the lack of trust that exists between the citizens and their police departments in many communities across our nation, and compare those relationship situations to the relationships that the residents of Vernon have with their outstanding, we can't help but realize that we do indeed have very good police officers that are worthy of our thanks. And it is for this reason that I want the public to know that my thank you comments tonight are not simply comments that are made in order to be that are made as a reflection of me taking a stand on one side or the other of some hot button political issue. Said for one reason and for reason only, and that's because I truly mean them. I am indeed fortunate to be one of the mayors who can say credibility and with comfort that my town has a police department with a corps of officers that have earned all of the thanks that we could ever give them. Take this opportunity to also thank our police department for the very quick and efficient through the recent illegal painful environment that was beautiful maple hours of September, the Vernon Township assault in the evening. On Marcy.
Yeah, Mayor Burrell, you keep cutting out.
Oh,
Marcy, maybe we can, and Chuck, you can hear me, we can get Mayor Burrell's comments right up on the Vernon, the Township webpage, because it's important what the mayor says, and I think immediately the public should hear what he has to say.
Yes, I think he actually,
Maybe he's going to sign back on.
yeah.
He could go push John out of the way. Give him an opportunity to sign back on.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting.
Oh, there he is.
Mr. Council President, I will just post those on the web for some reason. Even though Marcia and I are in the same building, I keep going in and out, in and out.
Mayor, what you have to say is very important, and that's why we can get it right on the township. And I'm sorry that the public's not hearing this. I'm sorry I couldn't hear it as well as everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
But what I did hear, I really appreciate it. I know the police department, and I know our citizens do. Thank you.
Well, I also, my second comment really relates to the whole issue of where to locate the pump track. You know, and one of the things that I've said, my experiences are, Mr. Council President and Council and others who I hope can hear me, have taught me that I should never assume that I know everything. I should never assume that all of the individuals look at what they say and try to analyze it. And I've actually done that. And what I will state in my comments is that we've just got a response from the DEP in response to a claim against that. And based on that, will be a safe place. all of those in March.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah,
Mayor,
okay.
I'm sorry.
No problem. Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, Mayor.
If
Thank
it's
you.
at all possible, and the council agrees with this, Chuck, since we hear you and the mayor is going to talk about the DEP report, the letter, could you advise, is that acceptable? You have the letter and what it pretty much said? Because that's where I think when the mayor is going to go.
Yeah.
Is that true, Mayor?
Absolutely.
Essentially, we were notified by the DEP, the field advisor who came out 2 years ago with you and I, Council President Shortway, and he rechecked the area, did not find any indications that anything was buried on the property that had been sent to them, and he felt that the conditions there were improved from what he had seen back in 2018 when he had been there. I gave him additional information to indicate how much of the tonnage of both the grits and some other things had been taken out, and that other things that he saw there that were scheduled to be removed at the end of this month, or before the end of next month, I should say, when bulky waste is being removed, that some of the things there, such as railroad ties, which were just removed within the last 2 weeks from Maple Grange Park, they will be going to the MUA, along with everything that's collected during bulky waste day later next month, and that the asphalt that was recently placed there will also be going to Tilcon very shortly, and that some of the asphalt that we recently removed when we redid the ramp for the senior center, that will be going as well. So he understands, and I think the DEP understands, that it is a temporary storage yard, that we are removing things from various parts of the municipality. We're storing there temporarily, but with a plan to have it recycled at the places that will accept it. And that one of the things that he did say in his report, that grits, which is what we have most there, and we had recently tested by a company that if they pass the regulations for residential use, they can be used as fill for roadways and for other things, such as what we plan to use them for, which is for a new pump track on that location. So that was the essence of what the letter said when we got it from the DEP.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, council, for allowing that. Mayor, anything else? Those are your two items?
No, nothing that I want to announce right now, but I just really thank the council for the work that we're done. In terms of working with me, the council challenges me, and the council agrees with me when the right kind of evidence, and I greatly appreciate that.
You're welcome. Okay, mayor's comments concluded. Let's move on to council comments. Jean, would you please open it?
Sure.
Thank you.
Actually, the sign that went up in Glenwood a couple years ago, I think it was Connor Mintier. He was working on an Eagle Scout project. I believe it was for that sign. It was an app. I'm not sure if anything ever came of that, but it was just something I wanted to.
That sign's currently there as well.
But with the app.
Yes.
Well,
So
if you can hear me, am I muted?
No.
Can you hear me?
Kind
Yes.
That was Council Member Murphy. That was a Boy Scout project, and I'm not so sure that it was ever completed. But the plans are to try to get it complete so that anyone who comes along can actually use their cell phone on that app and read all of the beautiful history about Glenwood that has been prepared by the Historic Preservation Commission.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Is there, as far as the pump track, is there any, do you see any end in sight of when the project would be somewhat ready to begin? I mean, after, you know, if the DEP is giving it an okay and there's just some work to do, is, you know, is there any indication of when that's ready to go?
We've been contacted by a couple of individuals that appear to be quite comfortable, and Chuck's going to be setting up some meetings with our town engineer, and we're going to be looking at individuals who can get information on this, and then soon going out to bid as quick as we possibly can.
The two main things that we got from the report from the engineer and from the company that did the testing is that we do need 3 piles retested, which we are planning on doing. There's an additional cost to that. And we are also planning on removing that 1 pile that was quite high, along with 100, I believe it's 100 tons of soil, and we'll be removing that as well. So that's the plan for the next month or so to take care of that, so that the ground will be ready. We are meeting, as the mayor pointed out, with some people who have some ideas on a design for this track, because nothing has been set in stone. I know that we have had some discussions with some people previously as to what a design might look like, but we have not decided. We will probably either look at what we already we get submitted to us, or put out a request for proposals on a design that others may have, that may offer to us. So like I said, that would be something we're going to work on over the winter months. So we'll be prepared to vote and to move forward when we get to the spring months where the weather permits us to start.
Thank you. And I'd like to comment, because you know, there's been so many negative comments on that site that I would say when Harry did take office and it came up, I mean, the town was working diligently to start removing a lot of that debris, because it was just left there, you know, for years, because it didn't cost anybody any money, you know, to remove it. So Harry, actually, you gave us a proposed ordinance, which was amending chapter 99 of the ordinance for the traffic.
Parking.
Yep. And is that something that we'll be addressing at the next meeting?
I would like to bring it up and
Because
get it introduced the next meeting.
excuse me?
I would like to get it introduced, get it out to you, read it, introduce it the next meeting.
Okay, because I just wanted to mention, I think this is the same ordinance that we discussed October 17th, 2019.
I believe it is.
I went through and I pulled up some minutes because that's what we were discussing it last year. And yeah, so anyway, but if any of the council members want to look back at the minutes from October 17th of 2019, you would see, you'd be able to at least see some comments there because I think it was Lieutenant Jason Hall made some comments. So just, you know, just to let you know that it's been discussed before.
Thanks,
And
Gene.
lastly, I'm on the County Open Space Committee. We finally had a meeting last week, and Vernon's application was discussed for the, you know, the one project that we're trying to for the Black Creek project. I'd just like to say that it was very informative. It'll be on the agenda in the October meeting. And then after that, the committee will probably plan a site visit, because normally before any projects are approved, there is a site visit by the committee. Other than that, I have nothing else.
Thank you, Gene. John, any comments?
My comments are, I only have two things. The first is that we're getting into the fall. Chimney fires are starting to happen. I urge people with fireplaces to have a licensed contractor to come in, clean their chimneys. New batteries and smoke detectors. Fire Prevention Week is in October. The other thing I would, third thing I would like to, Mr. McClatchy, apologize. We forgot VEJ Day and that generation. And yes, we should have said something, and I'm sorry for that. And the only other thing I have is I, as a council member, am asking the mayor, suggesting to him that he seek the resignation of the HPC chairperson. At the last meeting, we had more or less a threat, in the way I read it, about consequences for public officials or anybody on the board. I don't think those should be made, and therefore I think that person should be asked to resign. That's all I have.
Thank you, John. Kelly, would you go forward, please?
Sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
First, thank you, Chuck, for reading that the information back on the DEP report. That's good news. I'm glad to hear that. I also want to mention that, you know, our community consists of lots of volunteers, right? Our committees, and often volunteering is a thankless job. We all know that. So I'd like to thank all of our committees, but especially tonight, I want to just make mention of the beautification committee, because if all of you have noticed, it looks absolutely wonderful around the Acme Main Street area there and over by the municipal building. Education committee is doing an amazing job, so I thank you all for that. You don't always get thanked, so I wanted to take the opportunity to do that. And John, I want to support your recommendation for the HPC chairperson to request the resignation there as well. I agree. I don't appreciate the threats and the innuendos, if you will. So I support that as well. And those are my final comments.
Thank you, Kelly.
Yep.
Andrew?
Thank you. Chuck, you mentioned the dumping of the materials that we removed from the DPW site. And I think the number was 2,690 tons, which equates out to about 110 truckloads. I just want to give a little bit of relevance to this, is that the Wallace site is over 5,000 truckloads, which equates out to 150,000 tons. So I'm really concerned that when we look at, we as a town are taking care of our problem. What are we doing with the state and taking care of the problem of illegal dumping and cleaning up the Wallace site? So it's just something that when you start talking about comparisons, and I lead that into is that today I took my third tour of the site, and I took Dan Krause with me because he has a different perspective, and we went bushwhacking again, looking for, you know, various materials that have been put on social media, looking for those pictures. We found some stone, we found some concrete blocks, mostly some small construction material and some wood, but nothing to the impact that I've seen on these pictures, and I continue to look for it, and we'll do that. But I've also been researching the trails. And I can tell you from what I'm reading from Pennsylvania, New York, even the studies by New Jersey Trails, the return on investments are phenomenal. It's typically 3 to 1. And that doesn't include business expansions that go along the way. So between this bicycle pump track and the future trails, we have an opportunity to make Vernon strong, and I look at that. Then I'm also going to close with, I concur with Kelly Weller and John Oberger. I also called the mayor and felt threatened after the last meeting. We as leaders, we set an example that's higher, and that goes for all of us. And we're mentors for these volunteers. And if we want to bring more people into government and show them the way to be better leaders, and yes, we have a lot to do to become better leaders, but I appreciate being corrected, but in a cordial way. We coach and we mentor each other, but to be threatened is not acceptable. And I also would like to see the resignation of the HPC chair as well. Thank you. That's my comments for tonight.
Thank you, Andrew. Last night I spent almost 30 minutes on the phone with a volunteer who feels threatened by the HPC chairperson, does not appreciate the bullying, and so I will support my other 3 council persons' call for her resignation. In addition, last week I reviewed approximately 38 pages of MUA customer accounts. The vast majority of residential and commercial users are paying their bills during these very difficult times. It is the commercial accounts, the LLCs located outside our borders, that I find most troubling. If Mountain Creek can meet their obligation without snowfalls and during a pandemic, so can other LLCs such as Black Creek Condos, Inc. This LLC owes approximately $70,000 in back property taxes and $20,000 in sewer fees. It is our fiduciary duty to stay strong and pursue entities that owe our community property taxes and sewer fees. When entities fail to pay the property taxes, it affects all of us that do pay. One reason our property taxes increase is because we pick up the shortfall to ensure payment to the Board of Ed and county tax bills. We must pursue all legal avenues to collect revenues due to our community, including litigation and enforcement of our code, such as 341-1 and 341-2, which results if you're not in good standing with taxes and other assessments, you do not receive permits or inspections, and those permits can be pulled also. We need to protect all the people in this town that are being good citizens, paying their due share. So with that, I end my comment.
I have a question. I have a comment before you go.
Okay.
I would just like to say that I agree with all of you as far as the resignation goes. And, you know, it's one thing I've had to endure it, but I do not appreciate seeing it happening to, you know, people that are just coming in to volunteer. When I ran for election, I knew what to expect. It doesn't say it's right that what happens, but I was, you know, I prepared myself. But some of the volunteers that come forward, you know, they're not expecting to be thrown into the fray like that. And that's what keeps good volunteers from coming forward. And, you know, Vernon has a lot of them, but unfortunately over the years, we've watched them be scared away. And there are many people that know better not to even stick their neck out. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Jean, and you're so correct. With that being said, John.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed?
Dogs.
Okay, dogs agree. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye now.
Have a good evening, everyone.